It's The Deal with Villarreal on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network.
I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't.
Alright, look.
Okay, here's the deal.
Alright, look. Alright, look. Here's the deal. Alright, look.
Okay, here's the deal.
Alright, look.
Okay, here's the deal.
Alright, look. Here's the deal.
What up, everybody, and welcome to The Deal with Villarreal right here on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network. Just so you fucking guys know, Mr. Mexican himself, Mr. Villarreal, will not be joining us this evening. He really wants to, but unfortunately the man got sick. He's got some type of flu conditions or something of that nature, and for that reason, I would rather not have him in the studio. So I'm going to do the best I can tonight to bring you at least 30 minutes of The Deal, so that way we're not leaving a gap within the week. This would be a really good night for you guys to hit me up on social media. You know, whatever it is you want to do. Let me bring that up real quick so that way you guys know how to contact us. As always, you can hit up Chad at ChadVilly. You can hit up... I guess that doesn't have my contact information, but I am on Twitter at Mr. Pimpy K, or you can get me on email, and that would be radio@pimpyk.com. And of course, you can still funnel all your stuff through Mr. Villarreal himself at ChadVilly and Villarreal@pimpyk.com, and he will relay any type of questions or anything like that you have directly at me. It's a little bit different. I've never actually done a show by myself. A little bit nervous. Never, it makes it a little bit difficult when you know that you have a systematic purpose that you're supposed to complete, and you don't have somebody to bounce things off. A little bit of a ping system, I guess, if you will. But just right here, right off the bat, to make sure that you guys don't miss Chad, because I'm not going to lie to you. I love the man to death. I already miss him. I went ahead and imported a picture into the video feed so that way you guys could see him and know that he's always here. How's it going there, Mr. Villarreal? It's just a picture. He's not going to talk back, but if he would say, "Si, senor." I'm here for you, my man. Anything you want to do, Kenny, we do it next, man. Your car broke down, man. We'll go outside and put new brakes on it, man. It doesn't matter. I got you, vato. So we got that. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some topics that I did a little bit of research, which is probably a little bit more than Villarreal mostly does. The funny thing about that dude is he could come in here for 5 minutes, look at the computer, and he knows what he wants to talk about for an hour. I spend an hour and I can't even fill up 5 minutes, so I got to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna fix that. But like I said, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Pimpy K, and when we roll into the second segment, we'll definitely get into some fan shit. We definitely want the viewers to start getting a hold of us a little bit more often than usual. The funny thing is we got a really cool base of viewers. A lot of them are friends and a lot of them are new. I see new faces every day. We went out promoting PVN at a local venue the other night that had some comedy and stuff like that. So we got some comedians that are also going to be coming onto the show. When we do for example, on my show, the Pimpy Cast, when we do the featured artist of the week, it doesn't necessarily mean they got to be musicians. Comedy is an art form, so we're going to have some comedians coming on. We have one local comedian, and then I've got a guarantee from some actual touring comedians that they'll be coming on and doing a little bit of an interview during the featured artist segment on the Pimpy Cast. If you tune in tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7, I will that's Central Standard Time. I will be going live with the Pimpy Cast. I don't know just yet who my co-host will be, but I can tell you my featured artist of the week is a horrorcore rapper out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. You guys know Bloodtooth Records because of Hatchet Head and Shank. Both of them were on the show. We got Mr. Justin Sane. That's going to be really cool. You guys need to check that out. And if anybody out there that's watching actually has any viewers that or knows anybody that knows some people that are in a band and they're struggling to get their name out, or they just want a little bit of an extra edge on promotion, have them email podcast@pimpyk.com. Have them send us a couple MP3s or links to a credible download of the MP3s, social media links, and a little bit of a bio, and we'll put those dudes on blast. What we'll do is we'll build them a profile on pimpyk.com. We will track the analytics and all of the traffic that goes from our site to theirs to show them what it is we're doing for them. Pretty soon we're going to be branching out into all kinds of other stuff. We're going to start selling merch for artists that aren't capable of carrying stock themselves. And because of our sponsor of the featured artist, which is AJ Custom Graphics, and we'll get into that in a little bit, what we'll do is we'll come up with a couple designs. We will, AJ Custom Graphics will print them. They will handle the shipping of the order after they order through the pimpyk.com website. And then as soon as enough money is generated to pay for that merch, any bit of money that's left over, we'll use that to actually print merch for artists so that way they can get started. And then once they get to the point that they actually have money coming in from that merch, they can take that money and they can go, buy merch and sell it somewhere else. They don't have to stay on pimpyk.com. We're no strings attached. We've always been that way. We want to promote artists, and the only thing we've ever asked for artists to do is promote us back, at least for the show that they're on. So you can take that money, you can buy more merch, keep selling it on our site, then sell it on your own site. You can go buy drugs and alcohol, which is what I would do with it. I really don't give a shit, but either way, that's what's going on. But that's the Pimpy Cast. This is the deal with Villarreal. I am the humble co-host, Pimpy K. Villarreal is out sick tonight. So let's get into a few things. Like I said, I got on the internet, got on the old interwebs, as Villarreal would call them, and I searched for a couple things to talk about with you guys. And the funny thing about that is I'm not really good at that. I've actually have an AP in here today, which is really cool, because when I run out of beer, it would be really fucked up if I got up and walked over and got another one, considering that there's nobody except for, handsome Villarreal right here sitting in the captain's chair, if you will. So let's get into it. So somebody of infamy in this country, I guess you could call it terrorism, Mr. Ted Kaczynski, or as I like to call him, Theodore Kaczynski III. I don't know if his name really is Theodore, but that would be really fucking funny if it actually was, because that's what I would refer to him as. Theodore Kaczynski. Or, as a lot of you guys know him, the Unibomber has been back in the news lately. It's been about 20 years since he was captured. He's spent a majority of his time in a Colorado prison. But the reason that he's back in the news is that apparently a college or something of the form, I didn't read into it that deeply, because, I'm like Chad, I just don't really give a shit. I'm just going to talk about what I feel anyway. Started stockpiling, I guess, his letters, his incoming and outgoing letters, and they're actually going to start publishing those. As you guys know, back in the late 80s, early 90s, Ted Kaczynski, or the Unibomber, as you know, was a mathematician, he was a genius, really. He was a really intelligent guy, educated, just pretty much decided that technology was going to end humanity, and so he went to his best efforts to try to eliminate the industrial revolution, if you will, of technological industrial revolution, by sending packages and bombs and things of this nature and blowing motherfuckers up. Okay, if you got a point to construe, what better way is it than to send a package through the mail and, blow some motherfuckers up? He also tried to blow up some airliners, guy's afraid of technology, thinks that Skynet's going to go where, so he decides he's going to kill, a couple hundred people that are just innocently flying in a 747 just because it's what he thinks, it's some crazy shit. The funny thing is, you haven't heard shit out of this guy for a long time. Consider the atrocities that he actually did, and considering that everything that went on during that period, the manhunt, and then eventually you would start to see some of the composites, the photo drawings and sketches of him. And then when they finally found him, he looked just as fucking crazy and wild man as he actually was, hiding in the Montana wilderness for quite a while. But the last time I actually heard about him, and this was literally, God, it had to be 10, 15 years ago, maybe even more. I'm not really sure, because, trying to relate that time is kind of weird, because he got caught in the mid-90s, I want to say like 94 or 95. But the last time that I heard anything about this guy, he tried to hang himself in his cell. But not just hang himself, he tried to hang himself with his underwear. So this guy was like standing up on a chair or his bunk or whatever it is, just, I mean, I can't even imagine what was fucking going through that guy's head as he was like snugging his tidy whities up against his neck, just waiting to take that 2-foot leap off the toilet to his ultimate doom. Probably had the smell of transferred skid marks on his neck for a couple weeks that he had to deal with. I'm sure that didn't smell good. But anyway, so he tried to hang himself in a cell, and you really didn't hear anything after that. I mean, this guy, we're talking about a dude so fucking far off the deep end that it's hard to imagine being mad at anything, the way that he was upset with whatever the policies or the way that we were moving in this country with technology, because he honestly is the type of guy that believes that we're already controlled as humans by technology. If you've ever seen an episode of the Pimpy Cast, I like to believe that's actually probably real. Technology in my world definitely controls me, and I don't have even the slightest bit of control over any of the technology that I'm supposed to have a grip on. But you start to think about things like that, like what goes through your mind, what could piss you off so bad that you decide just to prove a point that you're gonna you're gonna do something like that, because at the end of the day, it's somebody that he didn't really want to die when he tried to commit suicide. I mean, that's obvious, because people that do the things that he did and commit the atrocities that he did, they love themselves too much to kill themselves. I think personally, they're so convinced by their own doctrine that they end up hiding in the wilderness of Montana and playing games with the same agents that are trying to find them. It's just like a serial killer. There's a thrill. There's the fact that they think that they're so much better than society that they can do whatever they want to construe or prove their point. And I mean, this dude published a manifesto, which was published by multiple major media outlets. Crazy fucking silly dude. Did a lot of crazy shit. But, getting back to what I was saying is trying to get into the mind of somebody that actually speaks like that is, I guess I could have, like, for example, if it was me, what kind of shit would be in my manifesto? Like, if I was to get just so pissed that I decided I was going to blow some people up, just before I continue, just so I don't, bring down the level of funniness of Chad here, I'm going to go ahead and take him off the screen and go ahead and bring up Mr. Kaczynski. I meant to do that earlier, but seeing Chad there, it made me feel so comfortable that I decided to keep doing it. But, I often think about just the things that would go through my mind, or what it is that I would have to bitch about. Like, like if you were reading my manifesto all of a sudden, because, I blew some people up or I downed a 747, over the Atlantic Ocean for whatever reasons were going through my sick and twisted little head. And all I could come up with is silly shit like the ticket ran out of Bud Light Draft on a Friday night, or, the batteries in my Xbox controller died, or my 3-year-old refuses the shit anywhere but his pants. And, no matter how he could sit on the potty for 2 fucking hours, you put a diaper on him, and that's the minute that he decides he's going to take a shit. Those are the type of things I deal with, just typical, regular. But then I started thinking, wow, I actually have a lot. I have so much shit to bitch about that if I was to have a manifesto, by the time they even got to the end of it, I would probably have already collected like the 3rd check of Social Security eligibility. By the time that they haven't found me, the original detectives on the case would probably be dead just by the time they got to the final page of my manifesto, because I've got plenty of shit about to bitch about. I hang out regularly and do shows regularly with the man that's usually in this chair right here. I'll bring him back up for shits and giggles. There he is, Mr. Chad Villarreal. And I'm going to tell you right now, between the two of us, if we were to get together and write a manifesto, it would be like, it would have to come out like encyclopedia volumes. We would bitch and complain about so much random and stupid bullshit that by the time we were done, people would like be hoping that they got their asses blown up by us. I would like to think anyway. I don't know for sure. So anyway, just so you guys know, I'm going to do this once again because that's the idea of the show. If you guys want to contact the deal with Villarreal, here's how you get a hold of Villarreal right here. go ahead and hit him up on Twitter at ChadVilly. Email is Villarreal@pimpyk.com. If you want to call in and leave a voicemail or send us a text, it's 850-426-4065. And then, of course, tonight, when we go to the break, I want you guys to hit me up. So when we are at the break, I will check social media. And if you guys have any questions, that'd be awesome. Because if you don't, I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to do with the second half of the show. However, the funny thing is I only got through one thing I wanted to talk about, and it's already been 20 minutes, which means I'm running up on deadline. How time flies when you're fucking having fun. I know, guys, this is probably a really horrible show. You don't have your main man here tonight, and I apologize about that. But it's just one of those things, man. People get sick. They're not always allowed to make it. We do the best we can here. We both have day jobs, which means most likely he probably had to go do a real day job. He probably had to go to work or else get fired. And then it would really suck to have to go to work sick and then turn around and have to come back here and do a show. That, and, I don't want that fucking sickness here. I've already been sick a couple times this year. I definitely don't want it anymore. So I guess what we can do is, first of all, get off of the contact screen. See, when I do all the talking, I forget. Oh, Ted Kaczynski is still up there, isn't he? Okay, let's get rid of him too. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut out and go to the break. I'm sorry once again that Villarreal's not here. Hopefully he'll be better and back on Wednesday. But until then, you guys are watching The Deal with Villarreal right here on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network.
You're listening to The Deal with Villarreal on PMVN Radio. Driving in your car?
You bastards!
Are you sitting home alone?
You're a fucking loser and you fucking know it.
Does the end of the night end with you balls deep in that fat girl you brought home from the bar? Tuesday night at 7, tune in for the Pimpy Cast live broadcast happening on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network.
La Bala La Plata.
All right, guys, we got Nikolai Savino and Jay Side. They got a little reggae collab. You're hearing it right here on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network.
Pimpy K.
Yeah.
2, ready, go. I've been drifting on this road for too long, searching for my soul. We are one world, one planet, one people, one all. The universe unfolds. Well, life carries on when we ride upon the waves. Life carries on when we ride upon the gravity to the path we find. Ignite your fire, burn righteously. Ignite your fires, burn righteously. Hey, now raise your torches, the path you find. Raise your torches to the path you find. And I've been drifting on this road for too long, searching for my soul. The sun is shining down upon this one world, one universe unfolds. Life carries on when you rise above the flame. Oh, when life carries on when we ride upon the gravity to the path you find. Ignite your fire, burn righteously. Ignite your fires, burn righteously. Say, raise your torches, the path you find. Hey, hey, raise your torches, the path you find.
Don't bother bringing us your problems. We deal in solutions. This is The Deal with Villarreal, Monday and Wednesday nights at 8 on PMVN Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome back to The Deal with Villarreal. Villarreal's out sick. I am the humble co-host, Pimpy K, stepping in just for the night. And hopefully by Wednesday night, Mr. Villarreal will be healthy and back to his old self and on here bitching and raving and ranting and full of piss and vinegar, just like always. That would be really nice, especially for me. You know, I was sitting there talking about the struggles I was having preparing information, shit to talk about during the first segment. And I ended up talking about Ted Kaczynski for 20 minutes. It was kind of bittersweet because I had some things I wanted to get into. It doesn't mean I can't do it yet, but I had some things I wanted to get into. But I'm also steady checking social media. I've already got a couple things in. I got one message from somebody saying that even though our little photo of Villarreal is funny, it wasn't the right depiction of him as a character, and they proceeded to send me a photo of Mr. Clean, which is really, if you think about it, spot on. Like if Mr. Clean was to, just go on a little bit of a methamphetamine binge for a couple years or so, then lose some of that weight and some of that BMI, then I think that would pretty much suffice. I got some messages from Chad himself, calling me a racist. Yeah, I should take that down before we get one of those infamous billboards that we always talk about. We know that's got to happen. Oh, and by the way, Chad also sent me a message that said that his voice is so bad that he sounds worse than I did pre-surgery before I got the evil tumor cut out of my neck. So that's pretty fucking horrible. I know how that feels. I went through it for years on end, so I understand that. I also got the funny thing is it's not somebody that follows me, but I got a private message on Twitter from Johnny Suckerman 85. I don't know who the fuck that is. And he was kind enough to send me a message that said, "Motherfucker, you need to read a book." Ouch. Thank you, Johnny Suck a Dick. That's fucking, that hurts. That hurts right here. And I'm going to tell you why that hurts. It hurts not just because you're calling me an idiot and you're, the funny thing is you sent it as a private message, which tells me that you knew for a fact that if you were to put it anywhere in a public space that I'd put you on blast about it. And I kind of wish, I did say your name, but nobody's going to know how to spell it. I just saw it about 20 seconds ago and I forget how to spell it. So who gives a shit? But, I'm not going to go off and just fucking destroy you because I don't know anything about you. He didn't even have a real picture or anything like that. It was just like a scene from a movie or some stupid shit like that. Just what all the other pretentious fucking internet prick trolls do, which is fine because I'm down with trolling. What me and Villarreal do on a nightly basis right here in these chairs is trolling. So I'm really not upset that he did that, but it did strike something in me that I do want to talk about now, and that's reading in general. Because there's typically only three types of people in the world. There's there's three people in the world that should read. There's people that are in school, people that are in prison, or just people that are in denial that reading sucks. And the funny thing is you get people all the time that try to pass on this sort of ideal that if you read you'll somehow be smarter, more you'll be more intellectual, you'll just be more I really don't know the word I'm trying to use. Maybe it's because I don't read enough. I don't know. But my point is this. I mean, why is it that reading a book somehow has the ability to transfer knowledge and information and experience into your brain in a way that other types of media and multimedia don't? Like, you got assholes that say things like don't go see the movie. You need to read the book. No, fuck that. Why the fuck would I want to do that? Reading sucks. I want to go see the movie. Oh, but you get the chance to create the scene and imagine the characters in your own vision and this and blah blah blah. And, well, I go to a movie and they do that for me. It's really awesome. Well, there's things in the movie that they cut out of the book, and that's probably because it sucked. That's the same as giving me a book and saying, read this. I blacked out all the parts that suck, but you're still not going to miss any of the story. You're going to understand the development of the characters, and you're probably going to have a better time, and you're probably going to retain a lot more than you did if you read the fucking book. Fuck reading books. I don't read books. You don't read books. None of us read books. Little tribute to my man Butch Broman, which will not be coming on Wednesday. That's because he's working really hard to get his show. He's working really hard to get fired is what he's doing. And I got some information about that coming up. But I mean, just this whole ideal about reading that it's supposed to be better. I mean, yeah, people in school read. I mean, the U.S. Educational system is a fucking absolute joke. But people do. People in prison read. Boredom, something to take their mind off the butt sex and salad tossing, converting to Islam just isn't as cool as it was in the 80s. I mean, I don't know. People in prison read. I can understand that. It's not an easy life. It's not anything that's going to be life-changing, but it's definitely something to pass time when you're doing 80 without the chance of parole consecutively 5 times because you didn't like technology and you sent a fucking bomb to the Capitol building. I mean, it's just one of those things. The funny thing is I got a friend of mine. He actually co-hosts on the show. I'm not going to say who his name is, but it does rhyme with DJ. His mom reads these sex books constantly. Like that's all she does is read these books, like these heavily, the ones that have like Fabio on the cover just any type of muscular dude and like a small little skinny spinner chick. Like, the books, you've seen them before. And my thing is, if books are better, that could totally take masturbation like to a whole nother fucking level. Like that. I mean, I don't read, so I don't know. Like I could be missing something this whole time. And as much as good masturbation is fucking awesome, I really don't think that it's incentive enough for me to actually read a book. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I might sound like an idiot. I just feel like that if I really want to obtain information, I do it the same way that 95% of Americans do. I Google it, I learn about it, and then I forget it the next day, or I use it as useless bar knowledge or useless knowledge while I'm drunk at the bar and I want to impress the bitch that I'll never get in the pants of. And that's it. I've never once hooked up with a bitch that was impressed with the amount of books I read. I never once did the naked monkey tango with a bitch that loved my knowledge of Lord of the Rings, because quite honestly, if I was to try to read Lord of the Rings, the same thing will happen as when I watched it. I'll probably fall asleep in like 30 minutes. And it's really easy to fall asleep in a movie like that because it's like 5 hours long, so you're going to get one hell of a fucking nap. That's my thing about reading. I have a few more things, that really goes into that, but for the most part, it's fucking reading. I mean, it's something you do when you have to. Why would you ever want to make a fucking pastime out of it? I don't understand it. And I know there's a lot of you out there, so if you want to put me on blast, hit me up on Twitter at PimpyK. Let me know what a dick and an imbecile I am because I don't like to read. You can do that. In just a few minutes, I know I've got some other stuff on social media. I will be checking that. We've got about another 15 minutes on the show, so we've got time for that. Another thing that was in the news, and a lot of you guys at the beginning are going to think I'm a homer for this because, I do have an opinion. We all have an opinion. But Erica Kingsman, I think we all know who that is. This is the bitch that put herself on social media, called herself a cleat chaser. She was pretty much famous within her clique or within her school and community for pursuing and having drunk, unadulterated sex with star athletes at one Florida State University. And then when she got it from somebody that she decided she didn't want it from the next day, she called rape. And that's, of course, the lady that accused Jameis Winston of rape. Now, as all of you know, we've talked about this on the show. Me and Villarreal have talked about it multiple times. It's something Cherish brought up. I don't condone putting victims on blast. I completely understand that rape and sexual assault is a very serious thing, and it takes a very sick mind to do something like that. But I also know that there's a lot of times that the chick isn't always the victim. So anyway, so she got a settlement from FSU. They cut a check for just under $1 million. Of course, she's only going to get about a quarter of that because her shark lawyers are going to get probably somewhere around $700K, and the reason I call them shark lawyers is because anytime you're in a situation where you have a sexual assault that's being investigated or any type of crime that's being investigated, and you've got 3 separate law enforcement offices that are saying that it's consensual. I mean, everything we find, there's nothing here. There's no evidence here that she was doing something that she didn't want to do or that she was any more intoxicated than the person that she did it with. 3 separate law enforcement agencies said this, and then, yet she still gets a settlement. So no matter what happens or where you go through the judicial system, you find out that you can still be the victim when you lose, and somebody will cut you a check because it just happens to be cheaper to cut you a check than it is to listen to your whiny ass in court for the next 6-7 years, which is how long a case like that would go, specifically that she was asking for something like 80 million or something off the rip. I forget exactly what that number was. Not important. So what is, Jameis might be even and I know I'm sounding like I'm being a homer because I could be completely wrong. There's a very good chance that Jameis just fucking obliterated this chick. She didn't want it. He didn't give a fuck. He took the pussy, and the star quarterback got the treatment that most star athletes get, and the police department turned their back on it and said, fuck this bitch. We won a national championship, and that's actually what we got. But, you just never know with these things, you know what I mean? So what did she get? She got $250,000, which is probably more than in one check than she would ever get with her philosophy / cosmetology degree or whatever the fuck it is that she was going to school for. I'm sure it was nothing like, it wasn't brain science or rocket surgery or anything like that. So, I mean, Jameis got an NFL contract, so even if she decides to go after him afterwards, I mean, it's at this point, you get the image that he's sweeping something under the rug, or you get the image that the FSU's sweeping something under the rug because they're settling. No, man, it's cheaper to settle than it is to fucking stay in court and have to listen to this whiny shit for 6 or 7 years, which is how long that shit would take. Because even if she was found, FSU was found at fault civilly, there would be an appeals process, and there'd be this, and there'd be that, and we'd have to hear about it in the news, and Nancy Grace would piss me off once again, and then I'd have just another name to add to my manifesto before I started blowing shit up. It'd be really fucking ugly, and I really don't want to get to the point where that's the type of material that we're trying to convey, especially on this network, but it would be. Because it's not intriguing to me. I feel like it personally affects me because I can see how fucking people, men in general, how it must. I mean, can you imagine just sitting in prison like because of some shit you didn't do? And I'm not talking about no Netflix to make a murderer bullshit where they put up one side of the story, but the nigga was really sick in real life. I'm talking about real, just you didn't do shit and you're sitting in a cell like, damn. That bitch hated me so much that she ruined my life. I mean, that's fucked up. But on that same token, you flip that token around and you got the tell side where it's like, damn, that dude alienated my body and like took everything that's pure away from me and I'll never get it back. That's fucked up too. There's no real good side to this. All I know is I like rape, you like rape, we all like rape. No, but anyway. So enough about that. We'll go ahead and check social media, which is going to be a little bit more complicated because in the scheme of things, I have to do this and talk to you at the same time, or else there's going to be dead air. We got about what time we got 15 minutes left. I said 15 minutes about 5 minutes ago. It's funny because the first segment, my AP just walked back in the room. Mrs. Sherry, thank you, my lady, because I think I am ready for one of these. Hold on. Now I'm ready for one of those. I had to put you to work. You just walked back in. All right, so we got some stuff from Victor here. It says, holy shit, this motherfucker sent me a ton of stuff. If you guys don't know Victor, or Victor for short, he's a regular viewer. The funny thing is, he's sending these to me in private message, so I should probably review these before I start reading them, but I'm here all alone, so I'm just going to run with it. Sucks that he's sick, but you're doing fine. Oh, what a dick. Jesus Christ. Really? It sucks that he's sick, but you're doing fine. So essentially what he's saying is, it sucks that Chad is sick, and here you are, perfectly healthy, doing the fucking show. No, don't fucking tell me that. Don't act like I have to read into this any different than what it was. No, that's not what he meant. He didn't mean I'm doing the show fine. He's legitimately upset that Chad's sick and I'm sitting here healthy. I'm not reading between the lines. I know exactly what the fuck is going on. Thanks a lot, Victor, but I will continue to read these messages and see what's going on. And people on the toilet, 4 types who read. Oh yeah, there is people on the toilet. You got to have a little bit of input for the output, right? My mother-in-law says that from time to time. Sorry, I'll shut up now. I wish you would have done that after you said that it wasn't cool that I was not sick, but it sucked that Villarreal was. Okay, what do we got next? You need to quote Egon, print is dead. Absolutely. Or we can just go ahead and quote, oh, never mind. You already have it. You already have like a whole thing going on here. All right. The whole fucking dialogue from that scene with Spangler. All right. That's cool. Or we can quote the guy that doesn't seem like a scientist, but acts more like a game show host. Is this true about Victor? Yes, it's true. He has no dick. All right, so
I guess Chad would have got that.
hopefully anybody that's seen Ghostbusters would have got that. So now not only am I being trolled by one of our biggest fans and one of our most reliable viewers, but my AP's over here talking shit. You see what happens? Chad's out of the building for 2 fucking seconds and I lose control of everything. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick of this. So now I've got a few more things from social media. I've got a couple, and hopefully I can get to all of these by the end of the show. The one cool thing is they can tell I'm struggling because when Chad's here, they don't ever fucking do anything, and all of a sudden we're getting flooded with shit. All right, so I got some more stuff from Villarreal. It's nice to see that he's not healthy enough to talk, but he can definitely troll me through technological and interweb devices because I never learned to read. Yep. And yes, Sherry is the AP, but I think I covered that earlier. In the words of Richard Pryor, tell Johnny suck a dick 69. I said, suck my dick, have a Coke, and smile, and shut the fuck up. Oh, and thanks for watching, and I'll address that bitch Wednesday. Mad love to Vic Turd. LOL. Exclamation, exclamation, 1, exclamation, exclamation, 1, 1. All right, there we go. Just trying to ball buster. We're back to Victor now. This is getting really weird. Now I'm just reading my phone in front of a bunch of people, but I've only got like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And no, I don't. I have 12 minutes and 30 seconds left.
How long are you going to go for an hour?
I was going to try to go for an hour. You know, I said I was only going to probably do 30 minutes or so. So if I tell you what, I'm probably going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. We'll end it just about 10 minutes early. We're not doing bad. I tell you what, I'll go on as long as they'll let me. So what we'll do is we'll look up a couple things. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's get, since we're looking things up on the internet and just kind of winging it, let's go ahead and bring Chad back in because that's something that he typically does. You know, the funny thing is, I planned on, because wait a minute, where's it at? No, never mind. I didn't bring it in, so obviously I wasn't as ready as I thought I was. Shit happened. My AP is over here complaining that her phone's dead. This show is going completely to shit because I can't pay attention to what it is I'm trying to fucking talk about because you're over there fucking mumbling. Victor, no, you're not fucking sorry. You're not sorry. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'm blushing. Okay?
You don't ever blush.
Well, I'm blushing. Well, I'm blushing on the inside because I don't like the way that I'm being treated. I don't like the way that they're portraying Chad over here as being some goofy ass dude with a sombrero and a mustache. I mean, let's be honest. Chad's not that dark. I mean, he is on the inside, but you know, no, it's not funny. And then I've got Victor saying that it's not okay that I'm healthy, but it fucking sucks that Chad is sick. Oh, the only thing that's going to be next is Cheris chiming in with some fucked up shit because we haven't heard from her tonight. Come on, Cheris, it's time. I'll stay on as long as you want me to stay on. Come and beat me up. Everything was going great. Victor. Everything was going great. Sherry. Everything was going great. Cheris. I know you haven't done anything yet, but I know it's coming now because I invoked you. I'm doing this whole show. I've talked about me multiple times. Haven't seen a single gremlin in the building. It's been really fucking smooth. And it's being wasted on me standing here acting like a fucking idiot while you guys make fun of me.
No one's making fun of you.
Everybody's fucking making fun of me and I'm sick of it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you guys watching. Look, this was new. This is the first time I've ever done a show without a co-host. It's a crazy thing. I didn't think I was going to have enough to talk about. And I ended up doing 20 minutes of Kaczynski. And then I had about 30 minutes worth of material that I did in about 5. And then I just ended up yelling at our viewers for the last 5 minutes of the show. And the AP. But that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. So for Mr. Senor Chad Villarreal and me, I'm the co-host, Pimpy K. I want to thank you guys for tuning in for the deal. Hopefully Wednesday, Mr. Villarreal will be back and healthy, or at least back and semi-healthy, which will still be cooler than me being healthy in the eyes of Vic Turd. This is the deal with Villarreal, and it is on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network. Don't forget that we've got exclusive contact and all the information that's fit to dig right there at pimpyk.com. You can catch this show every Monday and Wednesday night. Same times, same bat time, same bat place, same YouTube channel. Please, guys, do not forget to subscribe and thumbs up. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think about the show. Send us some fucking shit on social media. Let us know exactly what it is that you want us to talk about, because that's what this show is designed to be ultimately. So, hit up Villarreal at ChadVilly on Twitter. Email him Villarreal at pimpyk.com or leave us a voicemail 850-426-4065 and we will put you on the show. If you want to be anonymous, just let us know in the message and we damn sure will keep you anonymous. We don't want to we want you to hear what we have to say. We want to put our opinions across, and we want to act like complete douchebags live on the internet. We do want to do all of that, but we want to do it with you and not at you. We want you guys to be involved. I'm talking about, and when I say we want you guys to be involved, I'm not talking about just send in a question or do this, do that. I mean, I want you to do all those things, but I mean, if you become a regular on this show to the point that people just love when you send in questions and they love the quality of questions you have, we might have you on the show, or we might throw an event and you'll get invited to it and you'll get the opportunity to platform and do things or be a part of things that, that you maybe could not have been a part of before. If you're funny enough, we'll even let you pitch your own show. If you become part of this and you're here every day and you're like, man, I would do good on this network. I've got an idea for a show. Fucking email us. Let us know. We will sit you down and we will try you out. If you're not in state, then we will let you send in like a little bit of a video, just giving us an idea what you want to do, like an audition, if you will. It doesn't really matter. We want you guys to be part of this show. Villarreal needs you guys to be part of this show. It sucks he couldn't be here tonight. It sucks that I'm not sick. Anyway, this is the deal with Villarreal. And you are watching it on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network. You guys have a good night.